Hello, my fellow rebels. I am more to me for a life, and I have got the biggest rant after work I think I have ever had. I have had an amazingly infuriating day for a couple of reasons. First off, my initial trigger, and then the following event. What I'm going to do is pause right quick and let you capture just a glimpse of what I saw when I went into work today. It's just a really quick video of the outer look, and then I'm going to show a couple of pictures while I'm ranting of some closer up so you can actually see what was irritating me. So, I'll be right back.
No, they on the way.
What you doing?
I am going to make a YouTube video about the dumbing down of society using our workplace as an example.
Hey, what are you
Huh?
What are you gonna entitle it so I know what to look for?
The dumbing down of society.
Oh, yeah. Now, you want to have something where it open one of these cabinets that says empty cabinet? It ain't empty. Open that second drawer on the left that says empty cabinet. Guarantee there's some ketchup in there. First of all, that's a drawer.
This is false advertisement.
Yeah, and that's a drawer.
It is empty, but the drawer's not, so maybe it's not a total drawer.
I have to look after it when I go.
Hey, I found one that is actually empty though. That one's not empty. It's false advertisement. And is this really a microwave? Because I really do question this. And hand towels.
What's even worse is that to get soap out of the soap dispenser, you have to pull out the fork.
I know.
Taking pictures of everything, man. What a gal. Soap dispenser.
With a spork in it.
Well, without the fork, it wouldn't work. There's a rule right beside it. Instead of removing the hole in there, let it leak.
Oh, I see a violation. There's no label on this trash. There is no label on this trash.
What trash?
The trash sitting right here.
Oh, okay. Well, this isn't a napkin.
No label on this guy either.
I know that. It was if you buzzed
There's a road up by my daughter's up in Loganville, and I want to steal this sign so bad I can't do it. It's called Booger Hill Road. Booger Hill Road, that's what it is.
Okay, now after having shown you that quick video, have you ever been to a job that made you feel like you were supposed to be smart, but treated you as if you were an idiot? This job today made me feel that way. In order to get this job, you have to have a high school diploma. You have to pass a very long test in order to even be qualified for this job, because there are some very dangerous machines in this place. And this kind of labeling is all over the floor where manufacturing takes place. Understandable. Completely understandable. Things need to be put back where they need to be put so people can find them, because if you can't find it, production slows down. I understand that. Perfectly logical. But why? Why are there labels in the break room? This is our break room. I have never, even for a moment, been afraid that someone might smash their finger or run their head into the refrigerator because they didn't know what it was, or mistaken the water fountain for a urinal, or, oh God, maybe that's the reason it wasn't working to clean up my ravioli off the table. That was actually a keyboard. Really? How much of a fucking idiot do you actually have to be to believe that? I felt like I was in preschool. Everything labeled. Everything in a place. Who misplaces the trash cans? The trash cans actually have labels saying that they're trash cans. I mistaken those and stuck my lunch in those thinking those were a refrigerator. The 5-star area? Our food is there. It's a huge shelf packed with food. Nobody is confused about that. Nobody thought maybe, I should hang my jacket in there. That looks like a good coat rack. Really? Who the fuck does that? And who the fuck feels the need to label it? I actually talked to, while I was taking these pictures, the guy from the 5-star area, and he was completely baffled by this labeling system. I walked up to him, I was like, so did you have any problems finding the 5-star area? And he's like, oh yes, I was so lost before all these labels. And I was like, oh, did you manage to happen to find our doormat? It's right there. There's a sign that says doormat. Doormat? A sign in our cafeteria that says a rat trap? Pest control? I thought that was a laptop. I was so gonna send some emails. Really? Napkins? Oh, God forbid, someone should move the napkins from the center of the table. I'm sure everybody's gonna stop and that full production, the entire building will shut down if the napkins are moved 2 inches to the right or 2 inches to the left. God forbid, those should go missing. I don't even know what to say. Even our vents in the ceiling are labeled vents. I understand if you're in the back and working the electricity that maybe the cords, the ins, the outs, the whatevers are labeled for electrical purposes, but inside the dining room, labeling where the air is coming from, when they're huge, I couldn't even get a picture of them because they were so big. You could tell what they are. Astonishing. I thought that was a hairdryer. What the fuck, man? Really? And the worst part is our company invites people who are interested in purchasing items from us to they invite them in to see how we do things. If you go to a floor and you see everything perfectly labeled, everything put in its place, you think they are very well put together. They have got their shit straight. Then you walk into their break area and everything is labeled the same damn way. The only thing if I walked in to people I didn't know and they had to label empty cabinet, soap dispenser, microwave, refrigerator, I would think it was run by a bunch of brain-damaged ingrates, indigents, retards, and not the handicapped kind before anybody tries to get offended by that. I mean, like, they took the people who washed out of high school before they even should have made it to high school, couldn't read. What's the purpose in labeling everything with words? Why don't we put pictures on it? And then what would be the point in having a picture of a refrigerator on the refrigerator? Really? There is actually someone in an office in Italy who decided that our 5S, which is our code of cleaning, basically, that everything needed labels. He is like the Adolf Hitler with OCD. His word is law. Nobody can go against it or he will fail your company. No questions asked. This guy probably got the biggest damn bonus for coming up with the stupidest fucking idea I've ever heard of. How do you justify that? How do you walk out of your office after a huge brainstorm and a latte and go to the people you are supposed to be telling your reports to and say, I've got a bright idea. Let's label everything in the break rooms so there's no confusion. The refrigerator will be labeled refrigerator. The drink machine will be labeled drink machine. The water fountain labeled water fountain, just in case somebody has to piss really bad and doesn't know where the fuck to go. Okay, all of that part is done. Now, my issue being is, as most of you who watch my channel know, my goal is to eventually go full-time YouTube, which means this job, while could have been amazing, fell far short. Our company is in a freeze. I don't know what the hell's going on because our management tells us nothing. Nobody has gotten raises. Nobody has gotten meaningful advancements in years. They hire outside the company. It's been a thing, apparently for a while. So, that having been said, before anybody tries to accuse me of not being grateful for my job, because I am, there are a lot of people who are unemployed. And right now, yes, having the money helps. That having been said, I personally have not seen myself staying there for more than another year. Tops. There are people there that have been there for years and plan on retiring from this place. Whenever an issue crops up like this, something completely irrational, something that's possibly even illegal, and I won't get into that because I don't want that one to become a debate. That is for people to fight who are actually there and have the legal rights to fight about it, and I really don't. Since the people who work there and are planning on working there for a while cannot say anything to upper management that might get them fired. My issue was I don't plan on being there, so I really didn't care. Yes, that irritated me to no end, and you'll understand in a few minutes why it irritated me so much. I mean, just dug into my skull, irritated me to the point to whereas I normally don't care and don't get involved because it's not my business, I had to step in. So, having decided it was time for someone to say something, and since I'm one of the few people who doesn't plan on staying there, I decided to go to an individual that I was supposed to go to. I don't want to get into naming any names, just in case for any reason anybody from my workplace actually watches this video. And there might be a couple, because you've seen inside that video people wanted to know the site. So, I took this problem to the person I was supposed to take it to, the person who was supposed to listen to your problems and take them further, or in some way talk to you about them. And this individual was talking to another individual of equal standing. And I approached them as normally. I have not been in a playful mood all day, just kind of tired. So not my usual playful self. And I said, I have been offended. Now, having said those words, let me recap on something that happened a year ago while still working at this job. I was asked to remove a necklace that was given to me by my husband because there was the chance, not that anybody had actually been, but a chance that it might offend somebody. I was told to remove that necklace or I would be suspended. So I asked them, if someone was to come up to you and say that the American flag we have flying outside offended them, would you take that flag down? They said yes. And I said that would be the day that I leave. I would quit. I can't work for people like that. This is America. I mean, damn, this is America. Anyway, so having gone to him to say that I had been offended by something, he immediately laughs. The person standing next to him of equal standing also laughs. I understand, because usually I'm in a playful mood, so I get to the point. The labeling system in the cafeteria is preschool level. The only difference is I don't think they would use such long words in preschool. Though I can tell you that my nephew, who is still in elementary school, can identify my refrigerator without a label. And that's not even see-through glass on there to see the stuff inside. He just knows what a refrigerator is. That having been said, tested this theory. Anyway, I told them that I was offended, that it was preschool level, it was an insult. And they laughed, and the guy of equal standing that was also there with the individual I was supposed to talk to conveyed that he understood what I was saying because he pointed out that we over-label stuff on the floor. Like our mouse for our computers, there's actually a label on the desk that says mouse. Where our staplers go, there's a label where it says staples. Where our bags go, everything is labeled. Trash cans, you name it, it's labeled. And I'm like, it doesn't bother me so much on the production line. I get that. Organization helps. It keeps things from being slowed down because you can't find something that another shift misplaced for you. It's happened. I've seen it. I've worked those lines. I know. That didn't bother me. It's a little excessive. A little OCD. Got over that. I explained it to him that I didn't mind that. That was not insulting. It was prudent. But to label our break room? Label the refrigerator? Label our napkins? Label or microwave, because someone might be confused about what that is. It could be a time travel device. I said, it's preschoolish. It's like, yeah, I get it. It's putting everything, a place for everything and everything in its place. It's like a damn Barney song. And I said Barney song like that. And they both laughed, which is kind of funny, but true at the same time. It's like Barney was the worst children's cartoon ever invented aside from Teletubbies. Teletubbies was genuinely probably 10 times worse. And this is someone who grew up on Pee-wee's Playhouse, so I have been through the gamut of children's shows that were not that great. But anyway, while I was still having this conversation with the other individual of equal standing, more or less, I'll granted to say that that guy was in training, but he understood what I was saying. My person that I was supposed to talk to got hung up on the Barney part of it, and immediately his brain goes back to the 1950s. And he's like, "You remember the Barney song? Could you sing it for me? Oh, come on, could you hum it for me?" I sucked in a breath, and I tried yet again to reaffirm that I was not joking about the situation by taking another tactic, informing them that if an outsider who is trying to purchase stuff from us were to actually walk into our break area and see that, they would think that they had a bunch of brain-dead individuals working at that company. Which I guess is probably what they want, because it's the only reason people who have been working there for 7 years without a raise would still fucking be there. They're told that if they take sick leave more than a certain amount of days during a year, they get fired, regardless to whether or not they have a doctor's note. Genuine issues ignored, and they're fired. It doesn't matter the reason. They don't care. That's one of the illegal things. The point is he jumps back on the Barney song, the fucking Barney song, which I am glad to say I do not remember. If it was even Barney, it could have been Blue's Clues, or hell, it might even been Pee-wee's Playhouse. I don't fucking know. The point is a place for everything, and everything in its place is fucking preschool. Not people who have been working in a job that slave and sweat over presses, that stand there and have to freeze when management decides to go right outside of a door that have big coats and have conversations and leave the fucking door open like they were born in a barn. While those people are freezing, the other people are burning up, and everybody's catching a cold, nobody cares. We're going to worry about the fucking Barney song. I sucked in a breath and turned around and walked away. Because that's what I do. I don't necessarily want my job, kind of need it for right now. And then, this 1950s throwback comes to my desk later on and wants to know why I'm upset and why I'm ignoring him, because he has, in fact, called me a couple of times, and I've completely ignored his existence, which is monumentous effort on my part, because I keep thinking if I could just say the right thing, maybe I won't have to come back to this fucking hellhole tomorrow. But no, I need the job. Need the job for now. So, I walk away. He comes to my desk, my area, my little cubby hole, invading my space, wondering what's wrong with me. So I try to figure out a way of phrasing this so that even in 1950s, he can understand. I said, "You do know women. In general, in women, have you ever met someone who is completely offended and outright livid if someone calls them a bitch?" And he's like, "But I never called you a bitch." I said, "I didn't say that you called me a bitch, but have you known someone like that? Because we all know someone like that. Don't call me a bitch, don't call me a bitch. That happens. People have that thing." And he says, "Yes, of course, I know people like that." And I was like, I've been called a bitch. Doesn't bother me. As a matter of fact, there's only a couple of things I say to people who might call me a bitch. Thank you, and yeah, I know I am. That doesn't bother me. I've been called string bean, four eyes, whitey, white trash, well, you name it. I've been called it. If you know anything about my channel, you know it's for misfits and outcasts. I am one of them. I have been called everything in the damn book and then some, words that didn't even exist. So I have heard that. There's only one thing that pisses me off. After working my ass off as long as I have, and as hard as I have, do not ever call me ignorant or stupid. Now, someone might actually try to go down in the comments and call me ignorant or stupid, but as you fucking don't know me, it's not going to hurt my feelings. Someone who knows me, works with me, has met me, calls me stupid, those are fighting words. And I don't care if you've got a cute smile or a funny laugh to go along after it, it still fucking pisses me off. And he essentially completely negated every fucking thing I said by getting stuck on the fucking Barney song like I was a cute little girl with a tiny little complaint. You know, there are so many things that could be said about that particular individual, but I can't, because if there is a by chance that somehow or another this video gets back around to him, he's going to know I'm talking about him. And since he has some control over my status while I'm there, he could quite literally make my life a living hell. So I will just say this. You know, I won't say it. I think with a little bit of thought, it will be understood either way. The point is I'm not backing down from this. I have no reason to. As far as this asinine attempt to make sure our doormat stays in place, somebody needs to be fired, whoever the fuck that is, and their pay needs to be redistributed to the people who have been there for a long time that have been waiting for my job to get off their asses and actually do something decent. Until that time, I don't think anybody is ever going to consider working there something that they actually want to do. That is my rant. Now, my challenge is to you, surpass that day. It's a Monday, folks. It's a Monday. Have you ever had that same experience, like you walk in and your boss completely thinks you are a fucking moron? Have they done something so asinine you have to wonder, somebody got paid to think that up? Really? Here I am making minimum wage or minimum whatever, or I'm only making this and I haven't gotten a raise in however long, and someone actually sat there, thought that up, and got paid for it. Really? Have you had one of those days? I would really, really love to know. Y'all hit me up in the comment section. Thank you for listening to my vent, my rant. Still feeling it really so much in here, and a little bit scared that the wrong people may see it, but at the same time, I'm kind of past that point. I really am honestly past, so past that point. You have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and a wonderful 5 o'clock somewhere. Bye-bye.